What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It's one of those things that you kind of always wonder, but you never really know till you get it on there. It's very relevant to power and racing. So today we're actually going to be weighing the Evo. I'm going to be taking it to a scale that's actually really close to where I live. It's not even like a mile. Well, I'd say it's about 2 miles or so from where I live. But anyways, we're gonna be taking the Evo to get weighed in. But before we do that, I wanted to give you kind of like an overview of the car so you guys get to see what it currently has, what it doesn't. Is it a street car? Is it a race car? How many parts have been removed from the car? All right, guys, so we'll do the outside first. Obviously, you will notice not too much taken off in the front. Obviously, it's got an extra lip, different wheels. These aren't forged. These are just cast wheels. I think these are actually heavier than the stock BBSs that came on the car. So that's actually added weight. I don't think it's a lot. I think it's a couple pounds on each end, but just from swapping the stocks that I have over here, I'm swapping these to those. These are definitely lighter, and these aren't even the ones that came on the car. The car came with the forged BBSs on the MR, the little gray ones. So I'm pretty positive that those are actually lighter than these. So the wheels are heavier. Obviously, it's got extensions and little things, nothing crazy. Shouldn't weigh too much. It doesn't have a wing. This is a carbon trunk. This is actually taking away some weight. Nothing crazy. I don't think it's gonna be much. At most, maybe, I don't know, 10 pounds or so with the trunk and the wing. And it doesn't have a rear crash beam. So that's one thing that we're saving weight on, which is actually a bad thing. I should probably get one of those STM aftermarket ones because, yeah, I don't need to get rear-ended and then I'm screwed. But those things are only good for like crashes that are like 5 miles an hour or slower, so they don't really do too much. Obviously, aftermarket exhaust, the stock exhaust was really heavy. I do remember that when it was removed a very long time ago. So I'll go ahead and pop the trunk, pop the hood, so you guys can see some of the things that have been removed from the car to save weight. All right, guys, so here is the trunk. There's actually nothing, absolutely nothing back here. Everything has been removed. There's no spare tire. The jack is gone, everything. I've been actually, I don't even know what happened to my mat. I do know something was spilled on it a very long time ago, and I think that's why I ended up throwing it away. I don't even remember. That's how long I've owned this car, but I think I spilled something on it and it got moldy. If I'm not mistaken, maybe it was milk. Milk spilled in there and it got moldy, and I just ended up throwing it away. To include the not carbon, what is that? It's a piece of ply. I think it's plywood or something. Threw that stuff away as well. But there's nothing back here except for this floor mat that I removed from the front when I was actually racing. So a lot of weight being saved back here. Actually, when the car is wingless, I have noticed that wing actually does a lot. It does create a lot of downforce, especially when taking turns and stuff. So I do notice the rear end is a lot less controlled, for lack of a better term, when the wing is removed. So we've saved quite a bit of weight back here. I would say, I don't know, I'd say around 40 pounds or so. Actually, probably altogether without the wing and everything, you're probably in the 60-pound range or something like that. I don't know. But we'll go ahead and move up to the front. It's missing a few things. Obviously, there's no strut bar. We'll be adding that eventually. That's not a lot of weight though. But here's your look. Probably the biggest thing that have been removed is I have a mini lightweight battery that saved roughly about, I don't know, like 20 pounds or so. And at the bottom, I remove the under tray. So it doesn't have an under tray. I've been meaning to get my hands on another Beat Rush under tray. But other than that, honestly, it's still pretty much, everything's still pretty much there. Obviously different manifold, different exhaust, that type of stuff will add weight. So I'm actually kind of curious to see how much this car actually weighs. I will say from just having it at the track and pushing it around in between runs. So like when you get staged and you don't want to turn the car on for it to just get hotter for you to move, 10 yards. I ended up pushing it, and this thing is a beast. Plus I've pushed it plenty of times before on top of, trailers and whatnot. And this car is really freaking heavy. So very curious to see how much this thing weighs. And I'll be doing a power to weight ratio as well. So, all right, let me open the doors and show you the inside of the car. All right, guys, here we are. I did remove some things from the car. I'll actually go ahead and take this out too. But here we are. As you can clearly tell, it's a street car, nothing taken out. It's got everything in it. Most of you have already seen interior before, so nothing crazy. But here we are. It's a little messy in here. I haven't had a chance to clean the inside, but rear seats are still in there, all intact. Everything's still there. It's a full street car. So other than the stuff in the rear, it's pretty much factory weight for the most part, with the exception of the parts that have been added and all that stuff. So I'm really curious to see how much this thing really weighs. So let's go ahead and take this thing to the scale and see how much it weighs. All right, guys, we're here. I'm gonna pull in, go inside the office and see what I gotta do. So there's the scale. Go ahead and go inside and see what I gotta do. And we'll get the Evo on the scale. All right, guys, about to get on the scale. The lady was nice enough to allow me to hop out of the car to get the exact weight. You're not supposed to do that. I guess it's a liability for them, but you talk to people and just be nice, and they tend to do nice things for you. So we're going to be entering the scale, and I'm going to quickly be getting, okay, so there's the green light. Slow and steady. She's gonna tell me when to stop. Alright, e-brake on, car's still on. And let me have it go. Alright, guys, on the way down, pretty easy, nothing crazy. I wish most places were this easy. I've weighed a few cars before in the past, and it's never been this easy. But we are all done already. One thing I forgot to mention, guys, is as you can clearly see, the car is just under a half a tank, so I didn't want to forget that, because obviously that matters a lot. But we are all done. We're gonna get back to the house, and then I will disclose the numbers there. All right, guys, I'm home, and I have the weight ticket. Any last guesses before I show you? Drum roll, please. It actually surprised me quite a bit. So as you can see, car weighs 3,140 pounds. I guess 3,200. The lady actually held the ticket and made me guess, and I guessed 3,200. So it's actually lighter than I thought, which isn't bad. It's still pretty heavy for a race car, even though it's a street car. But I have seen Evos that are in the 2,600, 2,700 weight. So I mean, if we ever decide to go ahead and basically shave all that weight off, then those are the goals, obviously. But I went ahead and busted out the dyno sheet. Yes, it's laminated, don't judge me, but I went ahead and laminated it. And in case you haven't seen it or forgot, car made 664 wheel on a Mustang dyno, and which is roughly, I don't know how accurate this is, the crank values. I don't know how accurate that is, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just gonna pay attention to these. So I did the math, and for every pound the car makes 0.211 wheel horsepower, which isn't really bad if you really think about it. I'm not gonna get into the specifics and analytics and all that stuff, but basically, this is a pretty good power to weight ratio in my opinion. I thought the car would have weighed more. Thankfully, the lady was able to let me weigh it without me in the car, because I weigh roughly about 180 or so. So this would have been 33 and some change. So I'm glad I got to weigh it without it. But that's basically gonna wrap this up. I don't have any plans to make this car a full race car, gutted and all that stuff. That's never been a part of the plan. I'm not saying it's never gonna happen. Just not right now. That's not in the plan. So for now, this will continue to stay a street car. That's what I want it as. That's what it started as. So I don't, which is one of the reasons why I actually saved the stock engine in case I ever wanted to go back to what it was. I can do that. So I do things this way because this is my first car and I'll never have another first car. So if I were to change my mind and wanted to go back to a stock form kind of Evo, I could always do that, slap the engine on. Yes, will it be painful? But yeah, guys, that's basically it. I'll go ahead and take you outside and show you the car one last time so you get a look at it. I know we got a lot of new viewers that obviously haven't seen fully the car outside and whatnot, so I'll go ahead and do that. All right, guys, here you go. One last look at the Evo. This heavy, heavy girl. I actually got a compliment while I was there at the weighing station. This is a pretty young town in general because it's military, so a lot of guys obviously know what this is and they appreciate it, so you get a lot of compliments, so I appreciate that. There you are. Still got more stuff to do to the Evo. We still have to run a 10.5, so stay tuned for more content. Got a lot more stuff coming, and you guys take it easy. All right, peace.